So if we're going to use the Garriton Personal Orchestra library, as I mentioned, you can use a single instance of an ensemble of an Aria player to control a whole bunch of instruments at the same time. So let's go ahead and create an instrument, um, or an ensemble rather. So we'll do virtual instrument, a new track, and we'll choose our Garriton. And here we're going to choose, let's do flute. Let's do flute solo. On channel 1, we'll do, let's see, maybe a trumpet on channel 2, and we'll use a keyboard, harpsichord on channel 3. Alright, so we're going to close this. So what this means is anything that comes in to MIDI channel 1 will play flute, MIDI channel 2 will play trumpet solo, and harpsichord will play obviously 3. So what we can do now is we can create separate instrument tracks. So we'll choose flute, trumpet, and harpsichord. Okay. All right, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to set this up so that we have a change the input so that we get virtual MIDI keyboard all inputs, and we'll also do MIDI input all channels. We'll do that for all of them. You can always change any of this later. Then we need to make sure we route this properly. So we click on route, we add a new send, and we're going to send this to the Aria player, and where it says MIDI, we'll say all channels go to channel 1. And over here, we'll do the same thing. We'll add an Aria player, but this time we're going to say all channels go to channel 2. And over here, we're going to say all channels go to channel 3. Okay, so now if I go in here and insert a new MIDI item, and I double click, I get my flute sound. So if I add some notes, and then I copy this, oops, no, it's fine. I can then put it over here, and put it over here, and when I play it back, so the interesting thing about this is that there is no instrument loaded in any of these tracks. So if you look at the effects, you'll see that there's nothing loaded here. So what's happening is I'm just sending MIDI data to this Aria player, and the instruments are all loaded here. So once again, the advantage is that you can then control, you can have a mixer for all 3 instruments, so you could just pan one over here, one over there, which of course you could also do from Reaper. So let's see how that would work. I don't actually have this set up properly for you to hear it well, but hopefully you get the idea. But you can also change, you can add effects, and you can change settings, more advanced settings, including things like tuning. You can change the tuning so that you could have something like Baroque tuning, which is lower, and you can also, if you're so inclined, change the actual type of temperament that they use. So instead of equal temperament, you can change it to something else. like, let's see what's available. Just intonation. Let's see how that sounds. See if we hear any difference. Oh yeah, there's definitely a difference. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Now this is totally going on a tangent, ready? But this thing called Scala, they call it Scala, but it's really Scala file. These are files that are created using a program called Scala, which is a bit of a pain to get to work, but it's a software that's designed to create microtonal scales. So you can actually, if you really wanted to, you create your own crazy microtonal scale, and then you could export the file from there and upload it directly into the Aria player, and all the instruments would just tune right to your temperament. How cool is that? All right, hope this was useful.